Rush es una película del 2013 dirigida por Ron Howard que, además de centrarse en el accidente que tuvo Niki Lauda, nos muestra el enfrentamiento que tuvo tanto dentro como fuera de la pista con James Hunt. Hablé con Mark Digby, el diseñador de producción de esta película, que me contó los detalles y qué tan complejo fue recrear cada uno de los circuitos y cada uno de los autos que al parecer cambiaban carrera a carrera. Todo esto y mucho más en este informe sobre Rush.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contré with our latest interview.
It was a very challenging film in its breadth and scope and detail, and again, it's technological detail.
Who's that?
It's Niki Lauda. He's just been signed by Ferrari.
I'm both quicker than you and better at setting up the car.
It's about near history. So people are alive who were there, or people are, old enough or young enough to know about what was right and what was wrong and what was correct. And there is a fan base as well. And there's a legacy you have to be true to, because you don't want to spoil it for people, and people are also looking out. And you can spoil it for them, and also I think you can spoil it in the world, in our internet world, where people then start to complain, oh, this was wrong, this was, So we had to be correct about it, but we also have to really understand the drama of it, about two people living their lives and challenging, and how they are both different and similar.
More powerful than even the fear of death itself is the will to win.
Motor racing, and a year of motor racing goes across so many countries, and changes of cars, and changes of advertising, and changes of weather, and changes of culture. Unlike any other film where you might base yourself in one or two countries and visit a few others, for us, we were going across, I think it's like 15 countries.
Yeah.
So 15 different tracks, but in each of those tracks, on each meeting, there was, to a certain extent, a different variety of 20 cars. In the season, the cars changed, particularly at that period as well. Rules changed, colours changed, teams changed, helmets changed, all of it. In terms of, budget and resources and detail, it was massively complex.
Today with the rain, it's the most dangerous track in the world.
That all depends on how good you are in the rain. Let's race.
We couldn't visit all those racetracks, so we based ourselves mainly in London. We did go to the Nürburgring and shot there for the iconic accident. We needed to do that, we had to do that, but everywhere else was shot in England. So to recreate, Sao Paulo, or Watkins Glen, or Paris, or Fuji, along the same strip of airfield, with the same, we couldn't build 12 or 13 pits. Each pit is 20 pits long, 20 garages long. We just couldn't. So we layered them like an onion, because actually we didn't have much time. Tomorrow we are shooting in Spain. The day after we're shooting in Argentina, etc. So we layered the surfaces and the shapes and peeled back from brick to concrete to wood, and then we added on some other structures. So there was a nightly turnaround. And we might have used this half from this angle was that place, and this from the other side was that place. But there was so much detail.
James Hunt is a proven winner at the highest level.
Is there a question, or are you just trying to piss me off?
This is an incredible battle between these two drivers.
We built some of our own cars, and that was an amazing thing to do. Some of them we had to sculpt. The Ferraris we had to sculpt from pictures, because we weren't allowed to take and remove the real ones and copy them for any amount of time. So from pictures, we clay sculpted and then fiberglassed those exterior body shells, and then the underneath were built by Formula One teams that run the current, what's called the master team. So all of the other cars, we built about 12 cars, but some of the other cars were the actual cars that are still used in racing now. There's another circuit that goes, which is all the cars, previous historic cars. Now they still race, so we only had a short window to use their cars, so we had to double up and make our own.
Yeah.
So we built cars that were capable of, 150 miles an hour, not 180, with slightly different chassis underneath, but the tops we replicated and used some of their skins. And the guys who did it were the guys that ran those teams for us, and we subcontracted them to help us make those cars. Now, there are issues about how fast you can corner, because we only had 6 months to do it. So, for the cornering and the real high-speed stuff, we used the real cars. For the other stuff, and where we needed to drill in and put on cameras, And it was great camera work by Anthony Dodmantel, and he's a specialist in that, in putting cameras behind the wheel, above the engine, right in front, a small camera, new technology. We were able to do that.
That was the racetrack. There's been an accident. The driver's been injured. He's coming in now.
Hello. I think the racetrack telephoned ahead that I was coming.
It was very close to my heart. It was a period where I was, a young boy. At the time, I was fairly into motor racing. I remember the James Hunt, Niki Lauda. I do like cars and love cars. So it was a project that was close to my heart. And then it was with a director, Ron Howard, who I admire very much. And my memories of the film are just what a great director he was and is to work with.
Showdown between you and Niki is all anyone wants to see.